Welcome to the Clark Athletic Center live here in Boston, Massachusetts. Fresh off a W this past Friday night over Suffolk, UMass Boston returns home a new era under head coach Jason Harris after the long 40-year run of Charlie Titus. Jason is back here in the Little East Conference, and he hopes to get these guys back on track, renewing a rivalry with the Salem State Vikings, playing them for the first time since 2008.
The University of Massachusetts Boston. It's just minutes from downtown, and the Princeton Review calls it one of the best values in the country. A nationally recognized institution of academic excellence and research, UMass Boston offers more than 150 undergraduate and graduate programs, 16 Division III sports, and more than 100 student organizations. To learn more about the opportunities waiting for you at UMass Boston, visit in person or online. UMass Boston, a research university with a teaching soul.
Tonight's beacon to watch is Michael Campbell, the senior, coming off a monster night on Friday. 20 points, 10 points in each half against Suffolk. Campbell is definitely our player to watch throughout the season as he leads the team in scoring through the first game. Campbell was also a spark in just 6 games played last year. Campbell averaged 21 points a game when he was at Bunker Hill Community College before he transferred to UMass Boston. So they'll rely on Campbell with a roster that is newly pieced together by head coach Jason Harris, again returning to the Little East Conference after playing back in his days in 2001 through 2005. He was a 3-time captain with Rhode Island College in this same Little East Conference that UMass Boston belongs to. Coach Harris comes into tonight after 6 seasons, with LIU Brooklyn, a Division I school located in, of course, the heart of New York State. And now he comes in trying to coach a Division III program after the absence of Charlie Titus. Also recall, back in 2007, 2008, Coach Harris does have head coaching experience. He was the interim head coach at Plymouth State. So there's lots to get to about Coach Harris. Big shoes to fill. We'll now turn to a video preview that hits on how Coach Harris will try and get this UMass Boston team back to an NCAA Division III title.
Well, for me, it was first and foremost the opportunity to have my own program, the location of the school, the tradition of the league, the upgrades that's going on around campus, the facilities, the construction. I just think it's the overall growth of the university. It's just something that I want to be a part of. For me, I remember growing up 20 miles north and coming here to watch the NBA Summer League games. So UMass Boston's always had a special place in my heart. Just the location, the league, just the tradition, having the opportunity to follow Charlie Titus and kind of take over for him. That's something that is really special to me and I'm really looking forward to doing. So far it's been going great. It's only been a couple days, but everybody here has done such a good job of making me feel like I'm a part of the family, which is one of the things that attracted me here, just the family vibe and the family feel. Anytime you've been somewhere for so long, for 7 years, it's hard to just pick up and start over, but I think everybody here has done a great job of kind of helping me adjust and making me feel comfortable. Well, UMass Boston has changed. We can start with just the room I'm standing in. As a player, I remember coming in here, by the time warm-ups are done, your knees hurt, your back hurt, the floor was concrete, that was painted wood. Now, you come in here and it's a beautiful facility. You can see, probably $1 million that was put in here and invested. So just overall the facilities, you could just start there. In terms of the league, the competitiveness of the league hasn't changed. I think it's always been a great conference, and it's continued to be a great conference. I think one of the top conferences in New England and the country. In terms of the league changing, the good changes that's happened, I think LittleEast.tv, that wasn't around when I was playing. Just the ability to watch your son or daughter play from home and be a fan even though you don't have to be in the gym. I think that's something that's helped the league out a lot. Well, I think at Division I, you only have to worry about basketball and school. You have a little bit more resources, a little bit less responsibility. At Division III, you have more of an overall approach to the game and to school. into your life, whereas you have to mix in a job, you have to mix in academics, you have to mix in practice, you have to mix in your family life. So I think at Division III, you're a little bit more committed because you're doing it for the love as opposed to for the scholarship. Well, for me, I think it was to repeat success, you repeat preparation. That's something that I learned. I learned that when you win, it's harder to repeat, and then it's even harder to three-peat just because you have so many outside influences coming in, people telling you how great you are, people telling you, you know, how good you played last night, whereas you really have to block all that stuff out. You have to focus on your job, you have to keep your poise, and you have to be prepared. Well, I was 25 years old back then, so being 32 now, I think I just have a better way of looking at things, maybe a little bit more mature way of looking at things. I think what I took away from my time at Plymouth State was that you have to be able to delegate. You know, you can't approach the game like a player, because as a player I was emotional, you know, I was fiery, I was really competitive, and you know, it was a results-based play. So a good play, I'm happy, bad play, I'm upset. Whereas, you know, now as a coach, you know, I'm looking at things overall, you know, where was the effort, where was the intention, where was the preparation. For me, I think the biggest motivator's been the failure or the fear of failure. The fear of failure has always driven me. It's not always the winning that I love. It's just the absolute hatred of losing.
Can you hear me?
I think along with just kind of my family values and the way I was raised a military child. My father was very disciplined, very structured, and very fair. And he just kind of taught me, act the right way, play the right way, and good things will happen. It's a little bit of everybody I've ever played for, worked for, all the way back from, you know, high school coaches up until, you know, my old boss, Jack Perry. I think it's just something you take a little bit away from everybody that you ever been around. You know, I guess younger, I used to idolize Doc Rivers. That was the guy that I loved. He was in Boston, they were winning, he was well-spoken, he was articulate, you know, he was prepared, and he was a good coach. Probably the same type of player that I hope people would have said I was. Physical, tough, competitive, and play the right way. My vision for now, I guess immediately, would be to be competitive every day and to compete and to challenge everything. My vision for down the line is championships. I mean, that's why I was brought here. I think that it's a feasible goal. I think that the location, the campus, the league, the type of program we want to play in is going to be one where kids want to be a part of, and they want to go to school here and they want to get their degree here.
Thank you to Coach Jason Harris, of course, for joining us. 3-year starter at Rhode Island College. I'm sure he was proud last night. LIU Brooklyn got a buzzer-beating win in their season opener. So after 6 seasons as a Division I assistant, Coach Harris is now with the UMass Beacons back in the Little East Conference. We'll take a look at some of the rule changes from this past offseason as we take a look now, 2015-2016 rule changes here in college basketball. Some to note on, of course, is the shot clock change from 35 seconds to 30 seconds. There they are. Less timeouts, one less 30-second timeout, only 2 in the second half. Other things to check on, restricted areas now 4 feet. It was previously 3 feet. And this is a big one. Coaches can't call timeouts during live ball situations. So there's some of the others, and we'll check on those as the game goes on and throughout this basketball season, as UMass Boston is set to take on Salem State. Moments from now, we take a look at the all-time series history between the two schools. Finally, a rivalry renewed between Salem State and UMass Boston. First time these two meet since 2008. Salem State leads the series of 25 games, 18-7. The last time UMass Boston won a game against these Vikings was back in 2004, 11 years ago. Their last meeting overall was, as we mentioned, in 2008. They played every year from 01 to 08, so that rivalry is back. And it comes on an opportune night, opening night, here at the Clark Athletic Center. Let's take a look at the statistics from the opening night win for the Beacons against Suffolk on Friday night. A blowout victory, 21-point win. for the Beaks, shooting 40% from the field. And you got to check out those rebounding numbers. An 18-plus rebound margin, 4 less turnovers as well. So both teams having monster opening night. Salem State actually went down by 22 in their opener. UMass Boston won by 11 in their opening game at Suffolk on the road. So finally, after a game for each team on the road, UMass Boston back at home, and Salem State remains away from Salem, Massachusetts, 19 miles south from here. We'll check out the team leaders now from that first game of the season against Suffolk. Of course, it is Michael Campbell, the player we will watch throughout tonight's game. This 6'2", 210-pound senior from Boston shot 45% from the field, 10 points in each half. And the rebounding game went to 6'2" guard Gabriel Pereira. He was tremendous. As for Salem State, they'll turn to their big man inside, Marcus Faison, who scored 12 points, also had 10 rebounds, a double-double for Faison, a 6'5" junior from Cambridge, Massachusetts. And last but not least, before we head to commercial break, we will hit on the head coach of Salem State in his 9th year, Chris Harvey, who stands on the sidelines. Harvey in his 9th season as the head coach, 3-time MAS CAC Coach of the Year, an overall record of 142 and 79, a winning percentage of 64%. He has 5 MAS CAC regular season titles, 2 playoff titles, and 3 trips to the NCAA Division III tournament. Spent much of his time prior to at Tufts University as an assistant and also a head coach at LaSalle College for 5 seasons from 2001 to 2005. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll hit on the starting lineups for Salem State and UMass Boston. You're watching all the coverage of Beacons basketball on LittleEast.tv.
Jake. As usual, she wins it. A chance in front. Her shot is in the net. Crystal Layden. Yet another goal.
Please make a gift to the Beacon Athletic Fund today. We want you on our team.
We're back at the Clark Athletic Center. Tonight, it's UMass Boston playing host to Salem State University in UMass's home opener under new head coach Jason Harris. We will touch on the former Beacons head coach throughout the course of the broadcast. My name is Brendan Glasheen. We'll check out the starting lineups first for the visiting Vikings of Salem State. They'll go in the backcourt looking like this. They'll have Shaquan Murray alongside Billy Muse. Also in the backcourt, Zach Hurrianowicz. And in the front court, Drew Healy, who was the MAS CAC Rookie of the Year last year. He did not start the opener. He is in the lineup tonight for head coach Chris Harvey. And then Marcus Faison, we mentioned him before the break, 12 points, 10 rebounds in the opener, a loss at Rhode Island College for Salem State. And now for your home team, the UMass Boston Beacons coming in at 1-0 after a victory on the road Friday at Suffolk. They'll look like this, same starting 5 as the other night.
My name is Isaac Barnes. I'm a sophomore. I'm from Boston, Massachusetts, and I play point guard.
Michael Campbell, senior guard, Brockton, Massachusetts.
Quadra Allen, I'm a senior. I play shooting guard from White Castle, Louisiana.
I'm Gabriel Pereira, sophomore, forward from Brockton, Massachusetts.
Samuel Freeman, junior, forward from Boston, Massachusetts.
Same starting 5 as we mentioned for the Beacons from their first game of the season on Friday night. Finally, we'll get a check to the keys to the game for tonight. Salem State just 51 points in their opener, but what they come in with is size, so you have to avoid foul trouble if you're UMass Boston. You see the heights in the front court. Maurice Magris at 6 foot, Sam Freeman at 6'4". Those are the tallest players in the starting lineup. As for Salem State, Drew Healy in the middle at 6'9", Marcus Faison at 6'5". So there's going to be a lot of temptation to try and slow these guys down with the foul call. Also, keep your eyes on the court. Alumni are in the stands tonight. It is the home opener here at the Clark Athletic Center. Lots of excitement, new head coach, new era, new feeling. And, of course, last but not least, you need some secondary scoring. Michael Campbell can't do it all the time. He had 20 points in the opener, but I'm sure early in the season they won't mind Campbell getting off to a good start. We've got the starters. We'll check in with opening tip when we come back. Salem State Vikings visiting your UMass Boston Beacons live on LittleEast.tv.
My name's Allie Greenberg. I'm an ice hockey player here. I'm a junior, majoring in human services, and I'm part of the Key for Hope Foundation. We recycle the keys and stock food pantries with the money. I wanted to bring this foundation to the athletic department, and I believe we can end hunger starting at UMass Boston. I got started with the Key for Hope Foundation due to my father. He's the one who founded this program.
I said, what can I do with a classroom environment giving back? And everybody's got an old key, and keys are made of brass, and brass is a recyclable commodity. And thinking about how many children are in a school system and how far we can go with taking this to do something right for humanity, I started a foundation called Key for Hope, feeding others with the collecting of keys. In 2.5 years, we collected over 500,000 keys. And I'm excited about this whole opportunity because you know what? One key may not seem like much to most people, but when you collect the masses of keys that we've collected, it shows that there is an ability for people to get together and create what I'm considering our hunger-fighting opportunity.
The University of Massachusetts Boston, with its scenic oceanfront campus, easily accessible to downtown Boston, is recognized as a model of excellence for urban public universities. 16 NCAA Division III sports are part of the more than 100 student organizations that create an engaging campus life in America's biggest and best college town. UMass Boston, Boston's urban public research university for the 21st century.
What separates UMass Boston from other schools is the fact that a large percentage of students commute. For me, it takes 2 hours each day to go to and from school, but every second has been worth it because the students that come here are serious about learning, they value their education, and understand where it'll take them in the future. This is what UMass Boston means to me.
Both teams have taken their respective sidelines. We should be ready for opening tip moments from now here at the Clark's Athletic Center. Brendan Glasheen joining you here on a Little East TV opening night for men's basketball. Jason Harris is standing over there on the sideline as we are set to go for today's ball game, and we'll get to the national anthem live here at the Clark Athletic Center.
Thank you. We ask that you please remain standing for the playing of our national anthem.
Tonight's national anthem live here on Little East TV. Once again, Salem State in the house tonight at the Clark Athletic Center for UMass Boston's home opener. They will do the starting lineups. We'll take one more short break, and when we come back, we'll get the opening tip between the Vikings and the Beacons.
Something I discovered in myself is that if I have a goal, then I can accomplish it.
It's a well-rounded experience.
At a Division III school, you primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual.
It helps a lot that you have a family with your team that can guide you.
Starters getting announced on both sides. Once again for Salem State, they will go with Shaquan Murray, Billy Muse, Zach Hurrinowitz, Marcus Faison, and Drew Healy. And for UMass Boston, they will get their starters out there right now. All 5 starters for UMass Boston, the same as Friday night. Michael Campbell, the senior, comes up. So once again, this is Jason Harris' first game as a head coach with UMass Boston. After serving as an assistant for 6 years at LIU Brooklyn, a Division I program in the heart of the state of New York. He also served as a head coach at Plymouth State, an interim head coach. That's his only head coaching experience. He also played at Rhode Island College from 2001 to 2005, graduated in 2006. Tonight's officials, all first names with James Slattery, James Grady, and James Byrne. All tonight's officials live here inside the Clark Athletic Center. We should be set for opening tip moments from now. Jason Harris used to play in the Little East Conference. Chris Harvey, meanwhile, in his 9th year as the head coach, he was an assistant at Tufts last year. Or pardon me, he was an assistant at Tufts prior to his time at Salem State in 2006 and 2007. And then way before then, 01 to 05, he was a coach at LaSalle College. So Harvey's got a few years on Coach Jason Harris. UMass Boston will work on the right side, Salem State on the left. It will be Healy doing the tip with Sam Freeman. And we are underway. Healy wins the tip. The 6'9" center boots it out. A three-point try to start the game is off the left of the rim. Try was coming from Billy Muse, a foul on the floor. Quadri Allen picks it up. First team foul on either side. Inbounds under the basket. Muse catches in the corner. Murray, the point guard, is stuck as he picks up his dribble. Hurrinowitz drives the lane and scores. Hurrinowitz gets the first 2 for Salem State after scoring just 51 in their opener in a loss against Rhode Island College on the road. Beacons on offense is Quadri Allen, the point, pulls up at the free throw line. Can't find the rim, and Muse comes away. Murray, the point guard, slashes towards the cup, and a foul on the floor once again. Gabriel Pereira commits the foul. Second foul already on the Beacons.
Beacons foul number 10, Gabriel Pereira, his first
is on the floor. Hurrinowitz inbounds. He comes off his screen, catches, uses the Healy screen, almost lost the ball. Healy at the top of the key. Dishes over to Muse. Inside, Healy, one dribble, goes up strong. Off the left side, his own rebound. Shaquan Murray, the point guard, kicks to a three-ball try from Hernowitz is off. Another offensive board. Marcus Faison travels with the basketball, so the Beacons get it back on the turnover. Just a tick of action gone by thus far. 2-0 Salem State. Top of the key three try coming. Misses from Pereira. Dan Powers was actually the one who tried it. He was the first to check in. Powers on the low block. Two big men in there at Faison at 6'5" and Healy at 6'9" as Healy comes over to set a screen for Billy Muse. Kicks to Murray, a corner three. Off the mark. Comes down to Michael Campbell, who scored 20 in the opener. Up top to Powers. A jumper comes from Barnes, and he can't connect. The Beacons are still scoreless in the first 2 minutes of Jason Harris' debut in front of the Beacons faithful. Murray towards the lane, lost control. Quandre Allen, the point guard, might have tipped it out of bounds. So the ball stays with Salem State. Some substitutions. Maurice Magras checks back in for UMass Boston. And Brandon Bouthelette checks in for Salem State. Billy Muse to the bench. The Vikings ahead 2-0. Healy fakes the feed, comes in for the slam. The 6'9" Lowell, Massachusetts native, Drew Healy with the flush on the baseline. 4-0 lead for Salem State. Campbell, the point forward, kicks to Murray. Allen hands it off for Magras, and a turnover. Shaquan Murray, the point guard, uses the screen from Faison. Stuck in the corner, Allen caresses, stolen away by Magras as the Beacons push the temple. Campbell to the basket, lays it in. Michael Campbell is on the board, and so aren't the Beacons. It's 4-2 Vikings. Give and go, Healy with too much mustard on that pass. It's Beacons basketball. Sam Freeman and Allen to the bench. Iser Barnes checks in. He had 12 points in 25 minutes at Suffolk in the opener off the bench. Barnes looks to be a spark throughout the season. Campbell hands it for Magras. Off to Barnes. A free throw line J is off the mark. Rebound down to Dan Powers, powering through the lane. Here comes Barnes, back to Powers. Top of the key three from Magras. In and out. Rebound down to Barnes. Up strong. It rolls in. Iser Barnes, a 5'9", 180-pound sophomore from Boston. Did not play last year due to a transfer from Linden State College. And up the floor quickly, Billy Muse. Or pardon me, that was Marcus Faison for two. Faison's got 2 buckets. And it's 6-4 Salem State. Give and go does not go for the Beacons. Shaquan Murray, the point guard. Over the top to Hernowitz, it's good. Hernowitz, Zach Hernowitz from Burlington, Massachusetts, the only freshman in the starting lineup for the visiting Vikings. They are doubling the Beacons in the first 4.5 minutes. Campbell will circle around, back to the top of the key. Campbell down the left lane, hesitates, lost control. Will Angelini, the backup center, caresses the rebound for Salem State. Pull up three from Hernowitz, splash! Hernowitz is on fire, 5 straight points for the freshman. Timeout taken by Jason Harris and the Boston Beacons. We'll step aside, a 7-point lead. Not sure if they're going to go with a media timeout. It is. We'll take a break as well. It's 11-4 start for Salem State. Not the way the Beacons were hoping the home opener would begin. We'll return after this on LittleEast.tv.
Paris changed my life, and I got there through UMass. Those very specific seminal moments in Paris. The subway. A man in a tuxedo walked in, and a woman in a long gown. And it was stunning. It all hit me. It was like a lightning bolt. There was this world of beauty and style that I wanted to be a part of. That was the beginning of the journey. And that all came through the University of Massachusetts. And that was really a key moment for me. It's one of those moments you never forget.
We're back inside the Clark Athletic Center, 11-4. Salem State leads UMass Boston in the opening half. It's the home opener for first-year head coach Jason Harris. After 6 years at LIU Brooklyn, he is now the head coach back in the Little East Conference. Dan Powers on the elbow, lost the dribble. Campbell, teardrop to the basket, and a foul is whistled on Salem State. Foul on Brandon Bouthelette, a Billerica, Massachusetts freshman guard. So after the timeout called by Jason Harris, that went down as a coach's timeout, not a media timeout. So now we will step aside. It's still 11-4 Salem State. You're watching all the coverage of Beacons basketball on on Little East TV.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
First media timeout coming to the close. Thanks for joining us on Little East TV. The UMass Boston Beacons men's basketball team back in action after a season last year that UMass Boston finished at 14-13, 5-7, or pardon me, 14-12, 6-8 in Little East action. They finished 5th in the conference out of 8 teams. They were the number 6 seed in the Little East tourney, lost in the Little East quarters to number 3 UMass Dartmouth. Michael Campbell lets the first one fall. It's good. Campbell last year went 5 for 13 at the free throw line, 2 for 3 in the opener on Friday. He goes 1 for 2 on that try. 11-5. Beacons down 6. Barnes applying pressure at the top of the zone. Hernowitz collects, spins through the lane, lost control. Iser Barnes pushes the tempo for the Beacons. Allen out to Powers, a triple. It's off. The Campbell rebound is back in and through. Michael Campbell with 5 points, 5 of the 7 for the Beacons. Clear lane for Murray, right-handed lay-in. Shaquan Murray, a 6-foot, 155-pound sophomore who went to New Mission High School, is from Boston. Extends the lead to 6 for Salem State. Campbell uses a screen from Lewis Jean. Out to Powers, top of the zone. Powers lofts it in for 2. Dan Powers up strong. He's 220 pounds, using all the muscle there to lay it in. And a foul comes on the floor, a blocking foul. It is on Kevin Lewis Jean, a 6'3" junior, backup center from Hyde Park, Massachusetts. Lewis Jean checks out. Dan Powers also to the bench. Sam Freeman is back into the game. And a triple try is home from Shaquan Murray. 5 points for Murray. 16-9 Salem State. Barnes sweeps it to the corner for Ezewezu. Triple from Campbell does not fall. And here comes Hernowitz and the Vikings. Hernowitz pulls up top of the key. Airmails it. He wanted the foul. He doesn't get it. Campbell streaking towards the lane. Campbell will get to the line. It will go on Hernowitz. Wasn't sure if they might whistle it on Drew Healy, who is 6'9". And he has a big-time presence there as Campbell makes the first. Campbell's got 6 of UMass Boston's 10 points. 13-10 to go in the first half. Campbell makes the second. He's now 3 for 4 at the line. Beacon's down 5 as Murray moves up the floor quickly for the Vikes. Coach Harris crouched down, trying to keep his Beacons in play here. Bouthillette all the way to the hole. Billy Bouthillette, as we mentioned, a freshman guard from Bill Ricca. That's that too. 18-11. UMass Boston down 7. Allen hands off for Barnes. Back to Campbell, uses the Allen screen. And before the shot, there is a whistle on the floor. Bouthillette is whistled for the personal. That's his second. Well, they'll give it a Healy. Drew Healy, 6'9", 230 pounds, already a dunk in the game tonight in the opening minutes. Powers down the lane, up strong, loses control as Freeman went for the rebound. And he was out-hustled by Ryan Cloutier. He is 6'5", a freshman on that left baseline. Murray pivots, kicks over to Bouthillette, back to Murray. A left-hand dribble on Powers. Bouthillette to the basket. Healy couldn't go back up with it. Here come the Beacons. Allen to Barnes, back up to the top. Campbell through the lane, got it for 2. Michael Campbell with 9 points for UMass Boston. He scored 10 in both halves against Suffolk on Friday. 20 points for the senior in his opener. Healy up strong, and the foul. Freeman is whistled for the personal. Healy gets his second bucket, both points in the paint. And we will pause for our second media timeout. 20-13, Salem State leads UMass Boston. You're watching all the coverage right here on the Beacons Broadcast Network on Little East TV.
The University of Massachusetts Boston. It's just minutes from downtown, and the Princeton Review calls it one of the best values in the country. A nationally recognized institution of academic excellence and research, UMass Boston offers more than 150 undergraduate and graduate programs, 16 Division III sports, and more than 100 student organizations. To learn more about the opportunities waiting for you at UMass Boston, visit in person or online. UMass Boston, a research university with a teaching soul.
Coach Jason Harris huddled up with his new team, the UMass Boston Beacons, his first year as we remember the great Charlie Titus. After 39 seasons as the head coach, he finished up last year with 300-plus career wins, 2 NCAA appearances. He also helped put together the Little East Conference back in 1986. So Charlie Titus will always be remembered here. And in a great interview Jason Harris did with the Boston Globe earlier this week, he explained how he needs to do it his own way. He can't try and mirror what Charlie Titus did as Healy misses the free throw. An offensive rebound down to the Beaks as Healy goes up again, falls to the ground, and here comes UMass Boston, a 3-on-2 break. Allen lost the handle, pulls up from 15, in and out. Powers, one dribble, up strong, and he'll go to the line. another foul. Drew Healy picks up his second. Fourth team foul on Salem State. Here in the first half, still 11:20 to go. They are up 7 on the Beacons. First try from Powers is a front rim. Powers from Westwood, Massachusetts. Quick substitution. Michael Campbell in. Maurice Magris to the bench. Powers' first free throw tries of the year. And the second one rolls in. 3 points for Dan Powers. Down to a 6-point game. New point guard is Dennis Baylor. Baylor, nice dish inside. Faison for 2. Marcus Faison, a double-double in the blowout loss the other night against Rhode Island College. He's on the board again, 22-14. The Vikings by 8. Campbell to Barnes. Salem State in their man-to-man defense. Barnes feeds Sam Freeman. Back to the basket, up with the floater. Sam Freeman's first two of the season here at home, that is. Cloutier to the top. The runner not home from Dennis Baylor, and the board down to Powers. Up ahead for Campbell. Michael Campbell to the cup, lays it in. Down to a 4-point game. Michael Campbell in double figures with 11 points for the Boston Beacons. Quick three back the other way for Salem State to silence the crowd. There is a good share of orange in the crowd here today. Barnes picks up his dribble, finds Allen. He'll find Campbell, top of the key, back to Barnes. 7 to shoot for Campbell. Campbell, pull up 3. Front rims it. An offensive rebound to Barnes. He'll go to the cup and get 2. Iser Barnes, the sophomore again who transferred from Linden State College, making an impact after missing all of last year. UMass Boston down 5. A corner 3, Cloutier, splash! Ryan Cloutier, a freshman from Pelham, New Hampshire. Another dagger-type shot to this crowd, an 8-point lead for Salem State. Barnes to Freeman, an elbow J, Cash! Sam Freeman with a couple buckets in the last few minutes. He scored 6 points in the opener at Suffolk. Baylor resets the offense for Salem State. Inside 9 minutes to go, a 6-point game. Coach Harris yelling from the sidelines. Beater into Faison, goes up lefty, can't get it to go. Angelini the board, he'll clean up the mess. Will Angelini from Groveland, Massachusetts, a Northern Essex Community College transfer, makes it back to 8. Iser Barnes all the way to the hole. Barnes off the window and in. And the Vikings decide to take a timeout. We will keep it here. 6-point game. Barnes has been a spark, of course. As we talked about in tonight's pregame show, Michael Campbell will be the star and the player the Beacons turn to throughout the season. Campbell is a transfer from Bunker Hill Community College. He was a second-team All-American when playing with Bunker Hill. In his final year there, which was in 2013-2014, he scored over 21 points a game, averaged over 5 rebounds per game. He went to Southeastern Regional Vocational Tech High School. 2-time captain, team MVP. He also scored 1,700 points in his career. There is their UMass Boston cheerleaders watching on tonight in the home opener. Of course, you've probably heard it throughout the course of these last few seasons, a beautiful arena. The Clark Athletic Center, renovated in the summer of 2012, a multi-million-dollar renovation. You noticed Coach Jason Harris in our video preview tonight. shooting around and breaking this gym in. A beautiful facility. And we will have women's basketball and men's basketball all season long for UMass Boston right here on Little East TV. Salem State ball with 8 minutes to play in the first half. Murray playing back and forth with Iser Barnes, the point guard. Billy Muse, the starting shooting guard. To the top of the key for Cloutier, a triple. It's good! Ryan Cloutier splashes home a triple, and back up 9 go the Vikings. Barnes runs the offense for the Beacons. Barnes to the corner. Quadri Allen. Allen in the opener played 39 minutes. He scored 7 points. 7 to shoot for Campbell. Trying to create. Campbell will get to the line again. His 3rd trip to the free throw line. The whistle on Cloutier. Campbell gets a pair. Short on the first one. Second miss for Campbell. He's now 3 for 5. You can just see it in how he gets to the lane, that he wants to create and he wants to be the guy with the ball in his hands. He front rims it again. Pereira comes down with the offensive board, and a jump ball means Beacon's ball under the basket. Barnes to inbound, a box formation. Top of the key for Quadri Allen. Fresh shot clock for the Beacons, as we mentioned. Rule changes, a new 30-second shot clock that most teams, of course all teams in NCAA, will have to address. Allen will pull it from deep. In and out. And the board down to Billy Muse in Salem State. Corner 3, Cloutier. Couldn't get it to go. Muse the offensive rebound. Murray. Spin move through the lane, and the foul! Shaquan Murray, a 6-foot sophomore from Boston, Massachusetts. He went 2 for 10 in the opener for Salem State this past Saturday night, coming out strong against the Beacons. The lead up to 11 now for the Vikings. Murray up to 7 points on the night. He is the leading scorer for Salem State. Michael Campbell with 11 leads all scorers. Murray nets the free throw. He's now at 8 points. First free throw make of the season for Murray. He went 0 for 2 in the opener. Salem State played Rhode Island College. They got blown out by 27 points on Saturday. Allen to the bench. Dan Powers back in. Michael Campbell, that point forward role as he controls, finds Powers. Hands off for Barnes. Through the legs, Barnes tried to pull up at the line. Back out to Campbell. Jump step through the lane, and he sprinkles it home for 2. 13 first half points for Michael Campbell. Beacons down 10. 6 minutes and change to go in the first half. Hernowitz lost his footing. Feed inside for Faison. Back out to Cloutier. Murray thought about a step back with 5 on the clock. Cloutier back to Murray. He'll fire. And he'll miss everything. Did not connect with the rim, so a shot clock violation means UMass Boston ball. Iser Barnes with a slow dribble over half court. The Beacons have some work to do down 10. Nice take by Gabriel Pereira. He scored 9 points against Suffolk on Friday night last week. (36-28), 8-point game. Murray to Faison. Backing down, Faison up with the left. Rebound down to Powers. 3-on-2 come the Beacons. Powers strong to the cup. Misses all of it. Someone wasn't paying attention. Angelini up the floor, Cloutier. He wanted to hand it off. Instead, a steal by Michael Campbell. Strong chest pass to Barnes. Over the top. Pereira off the glass. Pereira makes it a 6-point game. And head coach Chris Harvey of Salem State takes a timeout. As we talked about in the pregame show today, the amount of timeouts that you'll get is limited after some of the rule changes during the offseason. Only 2 timeouts per half on each side. So there's now 3 30-second timeouts instead of 4. And a 30-second timeout called within 30 seconds of immediate timeout will become immediate timeout. Now we're going to see that attempted to get worked out because it's so early in the season. These two coaches, Chris Harvey and Jason Harris, both have Division I exposure. Harris, as we've hit on, 6 years at LIU Brooklyn, a Division I program that he was the assistant coach for. Chris Harvey, way back in his heyday at LaSalle College as a head coach for 4 years. Harvey graduated, got a master's degree from Boston University in 1998. He went to Worcester State undergrad. Back in progress, 4.5 to play first half, 36-30. Triple from Hernowitz, front rim. Beacons will push it, 4-on-2. Barnes, hard dribble, and he'll get to the line. Hernowitz commits the personal. And Barnes will get 2 at the line. Barnes has 6 points. He scored 12 against Suffolk the other night in the season opener. Nothing but net on the first one. Lyndonville, Vermont was the site for Barnes his freshman year at Lyndon State College, another Division III program. Murray to Cloutier, top of the key jumper. It's cash from Will Angelini. Angelini, the big man at 6'6", did not start tonight. Drew Healy got the start. He's in foul trouble. So Angelini back out there. Pereira, left-handed dribble. And he'll go to the line. Nice aggressive play after that triple threat move by Gabriel Pereira. Faison picks up the foul. Salem State is now in the bonus with 7 team fouls. So they will have 1-1 from here on out. Pereira, the lefty, cannot get the bounce. Pereira played 28 minutes. He started. He is from Brockton, Massachusetts. Played in 9 games last year for UMass Boston. Nets the second one. Beacons only down 5. 38-33. And Faison picks up another foul. So that means free throws for UMass Boston. Inside 4 minutes, media timeout. That means we will step aside when we return the rest of the first half. You're watching UMass Boston men's basketball, the season opener, right here on Little East TV.
Come on, Jake. As usual, she wins it. A chance in front. Her shot is in the net. Crystal Layden. Yet another goal.
Please make a gift to the Beacon Athletic Fund today. We want you on our team.
Welcome back to Clark Athletic Center. Brendan Glasheen joining you here on Little East TV. Thanks so much to our entire crew tonight as basketball season is underway. Men's basketball here tonight. Jason Harris in his debut as Barnes to the cup. Rejected. Nice block by Angelini. Up the floor, a two-handed slam for Ryan Cloutier. 7-point lead for Salem State. They have a response every time. 3.5 to play first half. Campbell with 11 points leads all scorers. Campbell takes the feed to the corner for Pereira. A fake, but a travel before he made the move towards the rim. Angelini, a left-hand dribble, he'll pull it. Airmails the three. Murray a rebound under the basket. And he'll reset the offense. Still a couple of changes now for UMass Boston. Murray, and there's a whistle on the floor. 1-1, though, coming for Salem State. The foul on Iser Barnes. Just like that, Freeman and Barnes, the only two players for UMass Boston with 2 fouls each. Murray's first one is good. Shaquan Murray into double figures with 10 points. Michael Campbell still leads all scorers with 13. Murray rattles in the second. 14-point lead for the Vikings. Barnes orchestrates the offense. Allen, bounce pass to Powers on the baseline. Back up for Allen. 12 to shoot. Beacon still working on formulating the offensive plan. Barnes to Powers, 4 to shoot. Powers lost the handle, and it goes off his foot out of bounds. Regardless, a shot clock violation. Possession to the Vikings, a 14-point lead, 90 seconds to go in the first half. UMass Lowell was right there within 2 or 3, and it went right back. Cloutier, a 3 is home! Ryan Cloutier, another 3 for the freshman from Pelham, New Hampshire. Cloutier's got 3 3-pointers. Up the floor quickly. The lead up to 17 for Salem State, spoiling UMass Boston's home opener for Jason Harris in his first year. 4 cross formation. Bouthelette on the far wing. Bouthelette drives, and a foul on the floor. Mike Arnaud is the most recent player to check in, and he commits the foul. UMass Boston's 8th team foul. Cloutier and Murray with 11 points each. The free throw is not good. Campbell to Powers, the 3. In and out. Bouthelette the rebound. Shot clock and game clock differential about 6 seconds. So Salem State can get one more shot and limit UMass Boston to a rushed offensive possession. Murray to Bouthelette, up fakes. To Angelini, backing down. Angelini, a bounce pass to the far wing for Shaim Davis. He'll heave it up. Out of bounds, Beacon's ball, just as the shot clock goes out. Jason Harris will yell for one last play call. Here's Campbell. Campbell at the buzzer. Can't get it to fall. A monstrous run by Salem State to close the first half. A 17-point lead. Salem State scored 51 points in their loss, 78-51 on Saturday afternoon. They are already 1 point away from all the points they scored in their last game. The Vikings have responded after a 27-point loss, up by 17 at the break. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll have Seth Orinsky with head coach Jason Harris. You're watching UMass Boston men's basketball on Little East TV.
My name's Allie Greenberg. I'm an ice hockey player here. I'm a junior, majoring in human services, and I'm part of the Key for Hope Foundation. We recycle the keys and stock food pantries with the money. I wanted to bring this foundation to the athletic department, and I believe we can end hunger starting at UMass Boston. I got started with the Key for Hope Foundation due to my father. He's the one who founded this program.
I said, what can I do with a classroom environment giving back? And everybody's got an old key, and keys are made of brass, and brass is a recyclable commodity. And thinking about how many children are in a school system and how far we can go with taking this to do something right for humanity, I started a foundation called Key for Hope, feeding others with the collecting of keys. In 2.5 years, we collected over 500,000 keys. And I'm excited about this whole opportunity because you know what? One key may not seem like much to most people, but when you collect the masses of
So we were hoping to get Coach there, and I'm sure we will throughout the rest of the season, so a small mix-up. At the half, 50-33 is our score. UMass Boston is down 17 points. For now, let's take a look as Seth Orinsky did a sit-down with Behind the Beacon, Charlie Titus. His legacy here at the program ended his career after 40 years. Titus won 300 games. He helped put together the Little East Conference, and he has hung them all up. He hung the shoes up at the end of last year. So let's turn it over to Seth with Charlie Titus. That preview should be coming any moment.
The University of Massachusetts Boston, with its scenic oceanfront campus, easily accessible to downtown Boston, is recognized as a model of excellence for urban public universities. 16 NCAA Division III sports are part of the more than 100 student organizations that create an engaging campus life in America's biggest and best college town. UMass Boston, Boston's urban public research university for the 21st century.
What separates UMass Boston from other schools is the fact that a large percentage of students commute. For me, it takes 2 hours each day to go to and from school, but every second has been worth it because the students that come here are serious about learning, they value their education, and understand where it'll take them in the future. This is what UMass Boston means to me.
Something I discovered in myself is that if I have a goal, then I can accomplish it.
It's a well-rounded experience.
At a Division III school, you primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual.
It helps a lot that you have a family with your team that can guide you.
Paris changed my life, and I got there through UMass. Those very specific seminal moments in Paris, the subway. A man in a tuxedo walked in, and a woman in a long gown. And it was stunning. It all hit me. It was like a lightning bolt. There was this world of beauty and style that I wanted to be a part of. That was the beginning of the journey. And that all came through the University of Massachusetts. And that was really a key moment for me. That's one of those moments you never forget.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
The University of Massachusetts Boston. It's just minutes from downtown, and the Princeton Review calls it one of the best values in the country. A nationally recognized institution of academic excellence and research, UMass Boston offers more than 150 undergraduate and graduate programs, 16 Division III sports, and more than 100 student organizations. To learn more about the opportunities waiting for you at UMass Boston, visit in person or online. UMass Boston, a research university with a teaching soul.
Come on, Jake.
As usual, she wins it. A chance in front. Her shot is in the net. Crystal laid it. Yet another goal.
Please make a gift to the Beacon Athletic Fund today. We want you on our team.
Division III allows you to give yourself to other things.
Having that free time allows me to pursue the things that I want to pursue.
Division III athletics affords students the opportunity to, engage in the other interests in their campus and in their lives outside of that sport.
It allows you to just be able to do everything you want to do. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Welcome back here at Clark Athletic Center. Brendan Glasheen joining you here on the Little East TV network. Let's take a look at some of the first half stats as both teams coming in. UMass Lowell with one, UMass Boston with a win, Salem State with a loss. So far the shooting percentage is well in favor of the Vikings. 0 threes have fell for UMass Boston, and Salem State shooting a clip of 54%. The rebounding battle is right there. 6 more assists, Salem State moving the basketball, but that really tells the story. The three-point field goal percentage is miles ahead in Salem State's favor. Let's take a look at the halftime leaders on both sides. Michael Campbell with 13 points. He's off to the races once again. He scored 10 points in the first half and second half against Suffolk last week. Brian Cloutier with 11 points and Shaquan Murray with 11 points. Cloutier hit 3 3-pointers in that first half, and Murray was also sensational getting to the lane. Dan Powers with 6 rebounds underneath, and Iser Barnes has 5 assists. Shaquan Murray also with 5 assists. A nice game for Murray so far tonight. Let's shift over to our first half replay. Some of the key plays from that first half that helped Salem State get out to a 17-point lead. So we'll take a look at some of the plays from early on. First, we'll start with the Beacons down 4-0 in the first few minutes. Michael Campbell strong to the lane after the steal. He got it for 2. Back down the floor came Salem State. A pull-up 3 from Zach Hernowitz. He had 7 first-half points. Later on, Salem State up 5. That was the freshman Brendan Bouthelette through the lane for 2. Salem by 7, but here come the Beacons. Michael Campbell, a sweet lay-in underneath. And back up the floor, here come the Beacons. Barnes to Campbell. A Euro step through the basket. He avoids the contact. And that got UMass Boston within 4. Moments later, though, Salem State up by 9. And an and one from Shaquan Murray brings us to the half. So Murray had 11. Ryan Cloutier off the bench had 11 as well. And that's where we're at now. 3:50 to go on the clock. First half is in the books. We'll take a look now around the Little East Conference. There are no other games going on around UMass Boston, but around the Little East Conference, there is one other game to update tonight. Southern Maine is on top of University of New England. Took down Southern Maine 88-77. That is a final tonight, and Plymouth State, visits Revere College. That game starts moments from now at 8 p.m. That's your look around the Little East Conference. And finally, we'll look ahead to our upcoming schedule for UMass Boston. They take on Fitchburg State next Tuesday night, 7:30. Make sure you check it out right here at the Clark Athletic Center. Finally, Vermont Tech on October 27th. And then, of course, coming up, the 31st annual UMass Boston Harbor Invitational. That is on the weekend of October 27th, which will see Vermont Tech first, and then, of course, whoever advances in the tournament the next day on Saturday. We'll take one more break. When we come back, we'll preview the second half. UMass Boston in the home opener, the opener for head coach Jason Harris. They are down 17 points to the Salem State Vikings. You can watch all the coverage back after this on Little East TV.
The University of Massachusetts Boston, with its scenic oceanfront campus, easily accessible to downtown Boston, is recognized as a model of excellence for urban public universities. 16 NCAA Division III sports are part of the more than 100 student organizations that create an engaging campus life in America's biggest and best college town. UMass Boston, Boston's urban public research university for the 21st century.
What separates UMass Boston from other schools is the fact that a large percentage of students commute. For me, it takes 2 hours each day to go to and from school, but every second has been worth it because the students that come here are serious about learning, they value their education, and understand where it'll take them in the future. This is what UMass Boston needs to be.
Something I discovered in myself is that if I have a goal, then I can accomplish it.
It's a well-rounded experience.
At a Division III school, you're primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual.
It helps a lot that you have a family with your team that can guide you.
joined by head coach Jason Harris. Coach, we'll keep it quick. Playing in front of a lot of fans, it's the first home game for a lot of these guys. A huge Salem State side. What are the second half adjustments you guys are looking to make to try to get this game a little bit closer in the next 5-10 minutes?
Heart and toughness.
Well, said it in 2 words. Hopefully we'll get a longer answer from him after the game. But the Beacons down by 17 at the half, trying to cut it back, and that's what the coaches were talking about when I was able to grab Coach Harris. We'll head back up to the booth and play-by-play broadcaster Brett Englishine.
Thank you very much, Seth. And Coach Harris, not a man of many words, of course, at the break. Not the result he was looking for in that first half with his squad down by 17 points. We'll see what type of adjustments they make as Seth tried to get out of Coach. Heart and toughness is what he wants to see here in this second half. Salem State will take the floor. They'll start it off with Billy Muse, Drew Healy, Zach Hernowitz, Shaquan Murray, and Marcus Faison. They're starting 5. UMass Boston will go with Iser Barnes off the bench, Gabriel Pereira, Michael Campbell, Sam Freeman, and Quadri Allen. So Barnes is the only bench player back in there. Salem State working on the right side here in the second half. Muse, a pull-up J, couldn't fall, and an over-the-back call coming on Marcus Faison. Faison had 2 in the first half. Oh, they'll rule it on Healy. Salem State had 9 team fouls in the first half. They pick up their first one in the first 20 seconds of the second half. Barnes to the cup. Foul on the floor, no basket. Foul is on Billy Muse. Another team foul for Salem State. Muse up top for Pereira. Campbell with 13 points to lead all scorers in the first half. Barnes pulls up from 3. Well short. Campbell saves it until the official, James Burns, says it hit the line. Sloppy play in these first 30 seconds plus. UMass Boston didn't score their first field goal in the first half till about 2.5 minutes in. Cyrus Matthew, who wears number 3 with that impressive mohawk, has checked into the game. First action from Matthew tonight. Faison to Healy. He lost control. Stolen away by Healy. Back up top. He'll kick to the corner. Hernowitz a 3. It's cash. Zach Hernowitz into double figures. 3rd Viking with 10 points or more tonight. And it's now a 20-point lead for head coach Chris Harvey and the Vikings. Matthew down the right lane, dishes off for Freeman. A lefty layup is home. Sam Freeman with 6 points. That ties his season high. 6 at Suffolk last time out. Murray to Healy, picked up his dribble and a foul off the ball. It's on Gabriel Pereira. First team foul for UMass Boston. And they'll call another foul on him. Gabriel Pereira, without a second coming off the clock, picks up another foul. All of a sudden, he's got 3. And now Jason Harris isn't very pleased about it either. Three straight fouls on Gabriel Pereira. So Powers comes in. Head coach Jason Harris was thrown off by that whole operation by the officials, and they'll call another one. Michael Campbell in the corner. That's Campbell's first. 4th team foul. Just a minute and a half into the second half. Healy faces up, dribbles hard, spins. Could not collect the bucket. Campbell the board as Cyrus Matthew lost his shoe. Campbell tried to get his own miss, and a jump ball. And there's a whistle again. This time, the foul, I don't know what they're doing here. I think they're just signaling back to the scorer's table that it is indeed a jump ball. Salem State possession. No, UMass Boston's possession. The PA just said it. There we go. Cyrus Matthew to inbound. UMass Boston down by 18. Powers extended. Allen sets up the play call. Matthew back outside. Allen drives the lane. A bump, and he'll go to the line. Billy Muse picks up his third foul. Third team foul on Salem State. And Quadri Allen gets a trip to the free throw line. Allen went 2 for 2 at Suffolk. First free throw attempt here at the Clark Athletic Center. It's good. Last year, Allen, in 22 games played with UMass Boston, he started 6 times. He went 20 for 25 at the line, an impressive 80% clip. In and out on the second. Faison the rebound. The lead is 17 for Salem State. Murray did not use the screen to the basket, trying to roll it in. Faison's tip back is home. Marcus Faison with 6 points. Halfway to his 12 he had in the opener in a huge 27-point blowout loss to Rhode Island College on Saturday. Matthew lost control of it. Layup good from Billy Muse. Muse with his first basket tonight. 4 reserves at the scorer's table for UMass Boston. Campbell just throws it up off Freeman's fingertips. And actually a new 5 is coming in for UMass Boston. An entirely new group. Eric Flores, one player we have not seen tonight. And then Caleb Ezeiwus is back in there too. 21-point lead for Salem State. Muse a triple. It's good. Billy Muse, a near side corner 3. 60 points for Salem State. They only scored 51 in their opener altogether against RIC over the weekend. Ezeiwus is fouled. Faison picks up his 3rd foul. 4th team foul on Salem State. Flores inbounds, and it's stolen. Murray has Hernowitz with them. Murray all the way to the cup, can't get it. Up the floor comes Flores, sprinting with the ball, looking for white jerseys to join him. Jason Harris wants him to slow it down. Certainly not the score he was hoping for in his first game as Flores dumps it off. Lewis Jean can't finish. 24-point lead. Muse a 3. Couldn't get it. And a travel. It's on Ezeiwus. First media timeout of the second half. We will step aside as well. The lead up to 24 for Salem State. You're watching UMass Boston Athletics right here on Little East TV.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
We're at the break. First media timeout, that is, of the second half. UMass Boston down by 24. Outscored 50-33 in the first half, so it's a 10-3 run to start the second half for Salem State. Cheerleaders there on the near side baseline. Salem State under head coach Chris Harvey, overall in his career with Salem State, 142-79. That's a winning percentage of .640. 2 MASCAC postseasons and championships. Healy up strong, and the harm. Drew Healy, the 6'9" center at 230 pounds, lays it in. 6 points for Healy in the game. Lead up to 26. Long on the free throw. And the Beacons will try somehow to get back in it as Iser Barnes controls at the point. Barnes dumps it off. Freeman nearly responded with a three-point play of his own. Angelini picks up his first foul, 5th team foul on Salem State. The Vikings last year went 14-13. They finished 5-7 in the MASCAC, which stands for Massachusetts State Collegiate Athletic Association. The Vikings last year were the number 4 seed in the MASCAC semis, lost 96-75 to the top seed Westfield State. The free throw not good, so it's still a 26-point game. Murray to Muse. Dumps it to Healy. He'll turn and fall away. Couldn't get it. Angelini with fans in the stands supporting him as Murray, a triple, in and out. Here comes Quadri Allen. Flair has stepped out of bounds on the sideline. So the Vikings get possession. Chris Harvey, though, is the right man for the job. He has 2 championships in the MASCAC, 5 regular season titles, 3 NCAA appearances. He was also a 3-time Coach of the Year. He's on one knee on the sideline watching. As Muse resets the offense. 12 to shoot for the Vikes. Healy wants to go to work on Allen. Nice give and go as Muse missed the layup. The tip-in is good from Will Angelini. And one of the officials calls timeout. They're going to fix something with the score, I think. One of the officials just blatantly blew his whistle and called off play for a moment. They'll make substitutions as well. Muse to the bench as Alex Duraco gets his first action for Salem State. Michael Campbell is back in for the Beacons. 64-36, 28-point advantage. Salem State got beat in their opener by 27. Now they're up 27 on UMass Boston. Campbell distributed to Allen, and there's a foul on Hernowitz. Hernowitz picks up his third. Side out. Campbell gets the screen from Allen, a chest pass. Allen will throw it upstairs for Freeman. Backs down, a fall away. Nothing but air. And here comes Salem State. High fly action. Healy, strong underneath. And a foul on the floor before the shot. Healy basically leveled Quadri Allen. Freeman picks up the foul, his third. 6th team foul for the Beacons. With 14:08 still left in the game, UMB getting blown out by 28 points. Healy, MAS-CAC Rookie of the Year last year, finds Angelini, and he misses. Campbell to Powers, a three, in and out. Angelini the rebound after Campbell wrestled for the ball with him. Bounce pass, Hernowitz a triple try. He responds and knocks it down. Zach Hernowitz with 13 points. That matches Michael Campbell of UMass Boston. Allen lost his dribble. Back out to Arnaud. Allen a jumper. Doesn't fall. The board comes down to the Vikings. Nicely done by Murray. He'll get to the line. Beautiful move by Shaquan Murray. Mike Arnaud picks up his second foul. Arnaud is a sophomore at 6 feet, 170 pounds from Medford, Massachusetts. Arnaud actually competed in the state championship in javelin in high school at the Greater Boston League All-Star. He also went to Medford High School. Murray makes his first free throw. He's up to 12 points. First point of the second half from Murray. In and out on the second. Nice rebound by Arnaud, and Powers will push it up to Allen. UMass Boston back on offense, down by 29 points to the Salem State Vikings. Powers, strong move. As it's still in there. Healy, the 6'9" player, can't get it. Arnaud back up. And now Healy is getting into it down in the paint. (67-36), and after the Esawuze is called for the foul. So Healy's going to the line. There was a foul whistled on Healy after getting shoved around down there. Granted, he is 6'9". He is 230 pounds. You think he could muscle off a 6 foot, 210-pound player. 1-1 for Healy. Got the first one. Drew Healy has 7 points. Pretty good year last year for Drew Healy. As we mentioned, MAS-CAC Rookie of the Year. He makes the second. He's got 8 points. He averaged 7 points per game, 5 rebounds per game. He had 30 total blocks. He also finished 5th in the conference with a 57% field goal percentage. Powers hands off for Campbell, who's been ice cold in the second half. He turns it over. Baylor running it strong. Baylor out to Healy at the top of the key. He thought about firing. Dennis Baylor, a 170-foot freshman. Healy trying to go to work. Healy up strong, front rims it. Healy back up. But without the foul, he'll get back to the free throw line. Salem State up 33. UMass Boston's only scored 3 points in the second half. 19-3 run here in the second half for Salem State. Healy went 2 for 2 with the line in the opener. 2 for 2 in the last trip as he misses that one. Salem State in that opener against Rhode Island College shot just 30% from the field. Really has not been their day. Tonight they're shooting 51% from the field. 56% from three. Just a monster day, a complete turnaround after losing by 27 in their opener. They're up by 34 points. Allen over to Arnaud. He'll hook shot it up, can't get it. And Campbell on the follow through is fouled. He'll get to the line. And we have hit the under 12 timeout. Lots of fans still in the stands here tonight. Not the day UMass Boston wanted. They're almost getting doubled right now by Salem State. We'll step aside as well. UMass Boston has some work to do in these final 12 minutes. Come back with us on LittleEast.tv.
The University of Massachusetts Boston. It's just minutes from downtown, and the Princeton Review calls it one of the best values in the country. A nationally recognized institution of academic excellence and research, UMass Boston offers more than 150 undergraduate and graduate programs, 16 Division III sports, and more than 100 student organizations. To learn more about the opportunities waiting for you at UMass Boston, visit in person or online. UMass Boston, a research university with a teaching soul.
Welcome back to Clark Athletic Center. My name is Brendan Glasheen. Thanks so much for joining us, and thanks for sticking with us in what's been a blowout in this first home game for UMass Boston. Down by 34 points to Salem State. Both schools are Division III programs. Salem State, as we mentioned, of the Massachusetts State Collegiate Athletic Association, otherwise known as the MASCAC Conference. Campbell at the line, misses the 1-and-1 try. Campbell is ice cold here in the second half, still at 13 points, all those points in the first half. Dennis Baylor runs the point for Salem State. Shaim Davis to the corner, it's Cloutier. Airmails that jumper. Cloutier made 3 3-pointers in the first half. He was sensational, 11 points. Allen, back to Barnes. He'll reverse it back to Allen, inside to Sam Freeman. Freeman, tough shot as he fell away from the rim. There is a whistle on Will Angelini. Second foul on Angelini. 8th team foul for the Vikings. 2 more for them. It's double bonus time for UMass Boston. Then again, Salem State could probably afford a foul or 2, up by 34 points. First one is good for Freeman. Big things expected from Sam Freeman this year. He's got 7 points tonight. Last year, or the year before, pardon me, he averaged 4 points a game back in his freshman season. Last year he saw time in 16 games for the Beaks. Makes the second. He's up to 8 points. He scored a season-high 4 points 4 times. First coach's timeout of the second half, so we will pause as well. When we come back, we'll have more second half action between Salem State and UMass Boston, and you're watching all the action on Little East TV.
Jake. As usual, she wins it. A chance in front. Her shot is in the net. Crystal laid it. Yet another goal.
Please make a gift to the Beacon Athletic Fund today. We want you on our team.
Back in progress as the second half resumes. A blowout win likely coming for Salem State unless UMass Boston gets to work in these final 11 minutes. Baylor at the top of the key. Baylor to the corner. It's Cloutier. He's been hot tonight. Front rims it. And the rebound down to Pereira. Finds Campbell. Campbell, ISO, lays it in the Euro step. Michael Campbell with 15 points. Now he leads all scorers. 2 players for Salem State were at 13 points. Hernowitz and Murray. Duraco lost the handle. Barnes, a lefty lay-in. Barnes has 8 tonight. Down to 28, inside 30 points. Cloutier at 6'5". Can let it go from 3. Cloutier, he has space. Connects. 4 3-pointer for Ryan Cloutier tonight. Can't leave him wide open like that. 14 points for Cloutier. He now is the leading scorer for Salem State as Barnes connects on a fadeaway J by the elbow. Barnes into double figures with 10 points. Inside 30 again. Duraco a triple. And it's off the leg of Dennis Baylor there. Arnaud checks in for UMass Boston. Will Angelini to the bench. Drew Healy is back in for Salem State. 5 on the floor for UMass Boston. It's Freeman, Campbell, who will pull up for 3. Can't knock it down. Also out there, Pereira, Barnes, and Quadri Allen. So not quite the starting lineup. Barnes is limping up the floor. $9:15 to go. 29-point game on opening night for Jason Harris after 6 years as the assistant at LIU Brooklyn, a Division I program in the heart of New York State. As Allen pulls the trigger. Short on the 3 as Faison thought about going for it. Smart to let it go as we're inside 9 minutes now. Cloutier double teamed as Faison. Into the corner, it's Murray, a 3. In and out. Faison collects, bounce pass, Cloutier, reverse layup. Cloutier now ties Michael Campbell for the game lead in points. He's got 15. Check that, he's got 16. So now Ryan Cloutier, the 6'5 freshman from Pelham, New Hampshire, off the bench, leads all scorers with 16 points tonight. Just a dominating game for Cloutier. 1-1, Michael Campbell at the line. 9th team foul for Salem State. One more, they're in the bonus. Double bonus. Campbell connects, so now they're both tied back up at 16 each. Campbell's season high last year was 20 points against Eastern Connecticut State. He misses. And it's a 30-point game still. Cloutier. Nice defense from Barnes, and he's whistled for the foul. Barnes is still hobbling on that foot. He's trying to play through it. He's telling Jason Harris he's all right. He'll stay in the game. Campbell, a step-back jumper. Front rims it. Here's Cloutier. Campbell the board. Campbell, strong move, kicked it out. Corner. Back out. Flores a 3. Got it. (75-48). Cloutier, a chest pass. Healy will pull the jumper, and he got it. Drew Healy with 10. He's in double figures. fourth Salem State Viking into double figures tonight. Jason Harris did not speak much as Freeman gets 2. 10 points for Sam Freeman. His career high is 12 points. He got that his sophomore year against Southern Maine. He could achieve that feat tonight. Beacon's up to 50 points. Coach Harris is assisted by Kendrick Price in his first year as Cloutier missed the 3. Freeman the rebound. Price played at Michigan, actually, the Michigan Wolverines. Ball is on the floor and a jump ball. Price played at Michigan in 2005 and 2006. Also played in the NIT tournament with those teams. Michigan went 44-24 in his tenure. Played in the NBA D-League in 2010, so he's one of the assistants for Coach Jason Harris. We'll keep it here. Price is also from Boston. The other assistant to Coach Harris this year in his first season, Odera Jones, who graduated from Eastern Connecticut State back in 2003. And as we mentioned, Harris is just the second coach in program history after a 40-year run by Charlie Titus, who was honored in our broadcast tonight before the game. Titus won 300-plus games as the head coach. He made 2 NCAA appearances. He helped put together the Little East Conference, which erupted back in 1986-1987 season. It all started with Titus back in 1974 when he coached the UMass Boston club team for 6 seasons. The Beacons then became a varsity program in 1980. That July, he was appointed the university's first ever director of athletics, a title that he would not hold up to. He'd have it for 20 years. He then gave it up to become a vice chancellorship. So Titus is not only remembered for his basketball coaching ability, but he really was a guy who helped design the framework of this university in the athletic department. So he will be a name that will be around, but he'll be missed on the sidelines. He has Jason Harris's blessing as Cloutier missed the pass. And the ball is out of bounds. The pass coming from that freshman Brendan Bouthelette that we talked about earlier. 77-50, 6:20 to go in the game. Bounce pass to the corner. Flores dumps it off. And the tip in back home for Kevin Lewis Jean. Lewis Jean got his own miss. First 2 for Lewis Jean. Beacons down by 25. Good defensive stand by Campbell. UMass Boston, as we mentioned, is at home next Tuesday on November 24th against Fitchburg State. A doubleheader for the men and women. That game will start at 7 o'clock against Fitchburg. Bouthelette trapped in the corner. Billy Bonnet, wearing number 1 for Salem State, is in there. Quadri Allen rushes up the floor. Allen back outside. Campbell dribbles once and 3. It's splash. It's good. Campbell's got 19 points. Tonight, Campbell is 6 of 16. His first 3-pointer to fall tonight. Campbell scored 20 in the opener. He could do it again tonight. Bouthelette kicks to the right wing. Bonnet in the corner. Faison dribbles through the middle. Faison hit it off the rim. Got his own miss. Marcus Faison. Poor defense by Gabriel Pereira. Got to box him out the entire way through as Lewis Jean sets his screen. He'll get the feed from Campbell. Lewis Jean kicks it out to Flores. He'll let it fly. Doesn't fall. Pereira the offensive rebound, and he's bumped in the head by Faison. That's Faison's 4th foul. That is the 10th. That means 2 free throws for Pereira. Pereira went 1 for 3 at the line in the opener. Played 9 games last year. He only got 7 points, though, in the action he received. 2 shots, 10 team fouls on Salem State. Here's Pereira's first one. 6 points for Pereira. Pereira went to the same high school as Michael Campbell. Went to Southeastern Regional Vocational Technical High School. He was a Mayflower League All-Star, a co-captain. He also won a league title in his 4 years. Pereira is from Brockton, Massachusetts. That's that one, so it's down to 22. UMass Boston sort of fighting here. The lead was at 30-plus points. Now it's down to 22. Hernowitz is back in the game. He has 14 points. Stolen away by Quadri Allen. Allen to the cup. Hoop and the harm. Quadri Allen gets the basket. His first field goal tonight. He was 0 for 5 to start the game. So Allen's got 3 points total. 11th team foul on Salem State. And now this game can get inside 20 points if Allen can convert on the free throw. In and out. Brian Martinez Rodriguez, wearing number 23 for Salem State, is checked in. Hernowitz drives in between 2 white jerseys. Dan Powers commits the foul. So now UMass Boston is in the double bonus as well. Powers his second foul. And Hernowitz is at the line. A lot different Zach Hernowitz tonight. He makes the first one. 80 points on the board for Salem State. Second one falls as well. Hernowitz with 15 points tonight on 5 of 9 shooting. He went 1 for 8 against Rhode Island College in the opener, so the shooting is a lot better from Hernowitz. He's just a freshman, the only freshman in Salem State starting 5. Allen down the baseline, lost control, nearly flips over. He connected with Hernowitz. So Hernowitz has got 5. That means he is done for the night. After the foul, that means we will check in our final media timeout. UMass Boston within 22. They've at least narrowed the gap here in the second half. We'll step aside. We'll have the rest of the second half right here on Little East TV.
Division III allows you to give yourself to other things.
Having that free time allows me to pursue the things that I want to pursue.
Division III athletics affords students the opportunity to, engage in the other interests in their campus and in their lives outside of that sport.
It allows you to just be able to do everything you want to do. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Final 3 minutes and 45 seconds of action to get underway here at the Clark Athletic Center. Brendan Glasheen joining you on the Beacons Broadcast Network and, of course, all of the coverage on Little East TV. First free throw is short from Quadri Allen. Beacons down 22. They got their first win of the season over Suffolk by 11 points this past Friday. Allen's second falls. Quadri Allen with 4 points. He had 7 in the opener. Home opener tonight, the crowd was a lot more elated, excited, but as a result of the score, it's calmed down a bit. Martinez Rodriguez misses the jumper, Powers the rebound. He'll dribble behind the legs. Allen will let it fly from deep. Can't connect. Good rebound by Jack Hartnett, who is a freshman for Salem State. Bouthillette will dribble. Bouthillette lets it fly from deep. Couldn't get it to go. Louis Jean the board, and it's stolen away by Bouthillette. He keeps his feet in bounds. Up the floor for Billy Bonnet. Through the lane, Bonnet. Still wrestling for it. Bonnet, dribble feed. Layup is good. Brian Martinez Rodriguez plays for Salem State, 19 miles here from Boston. Rodriguez is also from Salem as Allen lets a three ball go. You betcha. Allen's got 7. 20-point game with 2.5 to play. And a timeout taken by Chris Harvey. Bouthillette to the bench. This is Temitope Bailey. So Coach Harvey's got all of his reserves in there, his bottom of the bench guys. So doesn't UMass Boston for the most part. Still early in the season to really tell what the main rotation will be for the Beacons. With so much turnover from last year, only 4 players back from last year. Pull-up jumper in and out. And up goes Temitope Bailey. He checks in and he gets 2. Bailey is a freshman forward from West Springfield, Massachusetts. Salem State up by 22 inside 2 minutes to play. First one is good, and that's the only one, I should say. So the Beacons will try to put this one behind them, of course. Next up, as we mentioned, on Tuesday is Cyrus Matthew to the cup. Dishes off for Eziwuzie. Eziwuzie, his first bucket tonight. Corner 3, good! Jack Hartnett. (89-65), minute and change to go. Eziwuzie couldn't pull down the board. That was Hartnett, who couldn't hit the 3 ball. Cyrus Matthew Jr. with possession. Matthew Jr. steps out, calls the play. 14 to shoot, final minute of action. Matthew still searching for room. Drives the lane, floats it up off the glass and in. Cyrus Matthew is amped. He gets a bucket. Still not enough time for Salem State to run the clock out. Bonnet will let it go, and he got it. Billy Bonnet. He is a Bunker Hill Community College transfer, just like UMass Boston's Michael Campbell. Matthew will try. Got it, and the foul. Cyrus Matthew at least gives this crowd something to cheer about. Nice shot by Matthew. (92-70). 19 seconds left. Matthew misses the free throw. Hartnett the rebound. He'll kick it up to Bonnet, and they'll let the time run out. A rivalry renewed. Salem State had complete control of this matchup in the early 2000s, and they come in to the Clark Athletic Center with Chris Harvey as the head coach And they take down UMass Boston by the final score of 92-70. UMass Boston falls to 1-1, and the Salem State Vikings spoil the home debut for Jason Harris. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll begin our post-game coverage of tonight's loss for UMass Boston. You're watching all the coverage on LittleEast.tv.
The University of Massachusetts Boston, with its oceanfront campus, easily accessible to downtown Boston, is recognized as a model of excellence for urban public universities. 16 NCAA Division III sports are part of the more than 100 student organizations that create an engaging campus life in America's biggest and best college town. UMass Boston, Boston's urban public research university for the 21st century.
What separates UMass Boston from other schools is the fact that a large percentage of students commute. For me, it takes 2 hours each day to go to and from school. But every second has been worth it because the students that come here are serious about learning, they value their education, and understand where it'll take them in the future. This is what UMass Boston means to me.
We're now joined by head coach Jason Harris. It was, of course, not the home opener. You didn't want it to go this way. The guys sort of fought towards the end here, but you're 1-1 after 2 games. How much can you take out of these first 2?
You know what? It's kind of all part of the process. You know, like you said, we're 1-1, which means we're average, which means we're inconsistent, which means we're young. So unfortunately tonight we went back to coaching effort. Don't worry, we'll be ready next Tuesday. Which is, like I said, it's all part of the process.
How much of a change do you think you might have to make over these first couple of weeks, transitioning from that Division I level to the Division III level? How much time do you think that might take for you to make that adjustment?
You know, I don't know. I think it's the guys adjusting to me adjusting to the guys more than it is the level. Like I said, at the end of the day, if we're coaching effort, us coaches, we got to do a better job, getting these guys ready to play.
Lots of minor bright spots tonight. Michael Campbell continues to create moves in the paint. Can you speak on what he does so well to get to the cup?
Well, he's just so strong. We talk to Mike all the time about not settling. Mike likes to take step-back jumpers and things like that, and he's really such a hard guard when he's going to the rim. So we got to do a better job of not standing around and watch Mike create. I think we're a little too dependent on that right now.
All righty, well, hey, good luck next Tuesday against Fitchburg.
Thanks a lot.
All righty. Coach Jason Harris joining us post-game, 92-70, the final. We will take a short break. When we come back, we will wrap up the post-game coverage. UMass Boston falls to Salem State tonight here at the Clark Athletic Center. Finds Campbell. Campbell, ISO, lays it in. They can let it go from 3. Cloutier, he has space. Connects. Campbell, strong move, kicked it out. Corner. Back out. Flores at 3. Got transfer just like UMass Boston's Michael Campbell. Matthew will try. Got it.
What I discovered in myself is that if I have a goal, I can accomplish it.
It's a well-rounded experience.
At a Division III school, you primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual.
It helps a lot that you have a family with your team that can guide you.
Paris changed my life, and I got there through UMass. Those very specific seminal moments in Paris, the subway. A man in a tuxedo walked in, and a woman in a long gown. And it was stunning. It all hit me. It was like a lightning bolt. There was this world of beauty and style that I wanted to be a part of. That was the beginning of the journey. And that all came through the University of Massachusetts. And that was really a key moment for me. That's one of those moments you never forget.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
Salem State comes in and takes down UMass Boston by the final score of 92-70. Jason Harris gets his home debut spoiled by ninth-year head coach Chris Harvey and the Vikings. Let's take a look at the numbers and how this one broke down here tonight at the Clark Athletic Center. As you take a look at the numbers, Salem State shot the ball real well from three, 46%. The free throws have got to improve for UMass Boston. 6 rebound advantage for Salem State, 10 more assists, and believe it or not, they had 1 more turnover than UMass Boston. The Beacons are now 1-1, and Salem State, after losing by 27, they win by 22 in their second game of the season. The team leaders here tonight, as we take a look, Michael Campbell, after 20 in the opener, he dropped 19 tonight. Campbell did take a lot of shots, but he does such a nice job getting to the rim. He scored 19. Iser Barnes with 12. He had 12 in the opener as well. 7 rebounds down tonight for Dan Powers. And on the other side for Salem State, the three-point shooting of Ryan Cloutier was admirable. 16 points. He hit 4 threes. And the starting freshman, Zach Hernowitz, after going 1 for 8 on opening night, he dropped 15 on 5 of 9 shooting. 9 rebounds from Marcus Faison as well. Finally, we'll look ahead to what's coming up next for UMass Boston basketball as we talked with Coach Harris. Up next on Tuesday of next week, a week from today, November the 24th, Fitchburg State at 7:30, followed by Vermont Tech 3 days later. That will start the 31st annual UMass Boston Harbor Invitational on Friday and Saturday of next week in the month of November. And finally, I want to thank everyone here up in our production crew. Producer Seth Orinsky, the directors Carl Poss, Elizabeth Glavin, and Anthony Searless. Instant replay to Alex Caruso. My name is Brendan. The camera operators as well, Josh Ruffin, Sarah Alorando, Kelsey Rushlow, and Sam Fallon. My name is Brendan Glass-Sheen. That will do it for our coverage tonight. Once again, UMass Boston falls in their second game of the season, the home opener, by the final score of 92-70, and you watched all the action on the UMass Boston, the Beacons Broadcast Network on Little East TV. Good night from Boston, Massachusetts.